Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What is going on, Privy Nation? Good to see you guys. It is Deal Finding Friday. Honestly, my favorite day of the week to be finding deals. I don't know what it is, guys. There is something special in the water on Fridays. People they want to do a deal, they want to sell their house, and they want to do it at a discount on Friday every single time. So, let's man, guys, last week, if you didn't see it, we literally almost did a deal from scratch, start to finish, in like under 50 minutes. Wild. Go watch it. Find the call I did last week from Deal Finding Friday. I think it's going to be the new thing. I think we're just going to hop on here and see how quick can we try to do a deal. So without further ado, let me share my screen with you guys, and we're going to hop right in. We're going to talk to some agents, and we're going to try to get a deal. So let me present my screen for you guys. All right. Boom. All right. So we will be using Privy. Guys, man, I say it every week. I freaking love this tool. It's so good. As always, we're going to start my emails. Why? Because I set up filters ahead of time that fall within the criteria that my buyers are looking for, so that I don't have to do the hard work. Privy does it for me. So every day I can just look at my email, see what are the top properties that meet my buyer's criteria, and then I can just pick which one or two do I want to call. By far the fastest, most effective way to be doing deals. All right, so let's hop in here. Let's see what we got. We're going to look at the most recent email. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom. Oh man, we got so many goodies. Tampa. I'm first scrolling through. I like Orlando. Now I have set filters up before for Tampa. Not that there's anything wrong with Tampa, but Orlando's really more my home market. Well, home market. I'm in Danbury, Connecticut, right? So, guys, I almost exclusively work remotely, and when you're using a tool like Privy, it allows you to do that. So I kind of like this. So let's take a closer look at this house. 4-bed, 3-bath, over 2,000 square feet, built in 1958, 2-car garage. I like it. In Orlando, kind of east side of Orlando. Okay. Let's take a look at some of these pictures. Nice bike. He's got 2 bikes. All right. Ooh, interesting. So right off the bat, a couple things, guys. Price, I could care less what this says. I like the layout of the house, beds, bath, square footage, 2-car garage. Love that. Now, what are the things I really like? I like that it's been listed for 40 days. All right. Boom. Big indicator. I also like that there are only 6 pictures here. Why do I like that? Because this shows to me that either this house needs some work and they don't want to show the rest of the house, or it's just a bad agent who doesn't really care and is just like, let me just throw it up there. Hence why it's been listed for 40 days. Now let's see, or it could be different reason, but let's look at the notes. Excellent location, blah blah blah, great established neighborhood. Okay, a little subtle, but so mature trees, right? No one don't really care about that. Lots of potential. Needs TLC. Measurements are approximate. Agent must do their due diligence. Sold as is, $6,000 seller credit with full offer. Love it, guys. Lots of potential. I love those words. And then they go on to say needs TLC. I love that too. And they have no pictures. So, guys, what are we going to do? We're going to call this up. I just want to take a real quick peek here. I'm going to go down to settings. I like to select all because I want to see everything. Boom, look at all that. Let's zoom in a little bit. Now, I would have loved if there was something right here on this street, but there's not. And that's okay. So let's see what are kind of right around here in these neighborhoods. So this is listed at 350. Just at a quick peek, I'm seeing stuff, you know, what's sold at the high end? Dang, that sold for 363. Let's see what sold for 315. This looks like this could be a totally different neighborhood. Okay. Let's call it up. All right. What are we're on the clock. We're 5 minutes in. All right. So let's, oh no, where's the, I wonder if that changed or if it's just not showing up for me. So I used to have the agent information up here. So I wonder if that might have been an update. So here's the office where, oh, okay, it's down here. I wonder, interesting. Okay. So we want to get this agent name. Go to Google, copy and paste. All right, I'm just going to go to one of the first ones that pops up here. Realtor.com is usually the one I always click on. They tend to have what I'm looking for, which is, boom, mobile number. Let's call them up. Guys, how wild would it be if we got a deal in like less than 10 minutes? All right, 407. And guys, while you're here, for those of you watching, let me know where are you guys at? What markets are you in? 6493. I don't know that name. Probably why it's been listed for 40 days. Hard to sell a house if you don't pick up the phone.
Hello, this is Magdali for Prestige Realty Professionals.
All right. I'm not gonna lie, I'm normally just a 2-call person. I'm not crazy about calling 3 times. But just for you guys, we'll make an exception. Yeah, more of a fan of like 2-call voicemail text.
Hello, this is Magdali for Prestige Realty Professionals. Please leave me your number and your name, and I will return your call as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hey, McNally's, this is Nathan. I saw a property that you have listed here. I'm really interested in it. If you could, please give me a call back when you get the chance. This is my cell phone. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right. Moving on. Man, I really wanted to talk with this agent. I like this. Guys, this is like, I love these because the price they're listed at is like not investor friendly. As far as like, if you take a quick peek at the comps, you know, if we just look at the areas, we're like, oh man, you know, this thing's listed for 350 and like all these properties, you know, this sold for 310, 260, 275, you know, 320, 360, 350, like, this isn't going to be a deal. And yeah, list price, probably not, right? But what's the number one thing? The number one thing is I didn't spend, you know, 45 minutes or like an hour and a half trying to comp this house, right? This is the number. I'd probably say the number one mistake I see people making is, especially newer, you know, when you're trying to get your first couple deals, spending way too much time comping and like, you know, because you want to feel certain before you make that call. You want to know exactly what the ARV is. You want to know, you know, the comps in the area and all that stuff. but guys, it's jumping way too far ahead. We don't even know anything about this property. We might call and within the first 3 seconds, or 3 minutes, find out, okay, there's no way we're ever going to be able to do a deal, with this property. We might call and she's like, yeah, we already have, 3 offers at full price and 2 of them are cash. And no, they're not investors. They're people looking to buy it and live in it. Right. Or whatever the case may be. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I don't need to spend an hour comping it. So first and foremost, guys, we're looking for motivation. But what I love, it's been listed for 40 days, right? She said the house needs TLC. There's only a few pictures, very few pictures. I love it. And I like the house. And I like that it has a garage, but got to move on. All right, let's see. Ooh, let's look at this one. Now, typically, one thing I didn't do is I would, normally I would also, right after I left that voicemail, is I would send a text message. So when she looks at her phone, she's going to have at least 2 missed calls, a voicemail, and a text message. Guys, you'll get a response, right? You'll hear back from people. And that's what we're looking for. We're just looking for a response. All right, let's take a look at this. So it's only been listed for 6 days. Great investment opportunity. Love that language. So this is a 3-1, under 1,000 square feet. Not a big fan. Also, have I called on this house before? I think I might have. No, this I think is a different property. Man, but looking at the pictures, is this something that we could add some value to? Yeah, you bet. You bet. This property, it needs some work. All right, so it is a block home. That's really good to know. Brand new roof. Properties like this in short supply. I don't think anybody wants a big supply of these properties. Sometimes people are funny. People are funny. All right, let's take a quick peek at comps. Now, guys, so the funny thing is, like, when looking at this house, there's kind of the flip side. So, when you're looking to wholesale or flip, yes, you want to look for houses, that need work and whatnot. And some people like to say, oh, send me like the nastiest houses you can find. And guys, the reality is most investors don't want to deal with the nastiest houses that you can find. And because there's so much work, that it depending on the deal, depending on the house, it's not worth it. Now, when looking at a property, I don't get concerned so much by like how bad a shape it looks, but more of, is this an awkward property? And it's kind of like a really subjective thing, but like, is this like a very standard cookie cutter house and like, man, it just needs a lot of work? Or is it just, this is like a weird old home, like it's really different from everything else and it needs a ton of work? Investors, fixing and flipping, there's a lot of risk in the game. So they want cookie cutter properties, right? They want to feel like they're able to easily predict what ARV, what they're going to be able to get when they fix it up and sell it. If it's a really awkward property, that makes it really, really risky bet, because even if you fix it all up, man, it might just be a weird layout, might be a lot of weird things about the property, and people just, no, they're not into it, and then you can't sell it. So for me, if it's an awkward property, it's just a weird property and it needs a lot of work, I don't waste my time, because yeah, you might be able to get them at a discounted price and it might be close, or it might just work for your buyer's numbers. But what you'll find is those properties really hard to sell, and they're going to take a ton of work for you to try to sell them. Typically, and you don't usually make much on them. All right, so let's take a quick peek. So 229. I just want to get an idea what some of these houses are looking like. This thing sold for 260. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's call it. Again, if I'm on the fence, it doesn't hurt to just call, right? Oh, I've totally spoke with this guy, Matthew Egert. I'm like 99% sure I've spoke to this guy before when I did my 30-day challenge. Let's see if he has a picture. Only an office number. Let's I don't want an office number. All right, so 0917, that's up here. So it might be his cell still. Let's try it out. 407 304 0917. Push me to voicemail. Come on, Matt.
407-304-0917 is not available.
So, all right. Watch this trick, guys. Let's see if he answers.
407-304.
We're actually going to leave that up. We'll come back to this and try calling in a couple minutes. So what I would have done if he had picked up and was agitated, what would I have said, right? Some of you guys might wonder that, especially if it's getting pushed straight to voicemail and they're clicking it straight to voicemail. All right, guys, one of the easiest things you can do is just kind of play dumb. What I mean by that is if you answer the phone, right, and a lot of times people, like, they're so concerned, like, oh, what if I call them a second time or a third time and they're like upset? Well, I'm just like, oh, hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, I tried calling a couple times. I don't know. It kept on getting like disconnected. I'm not sure if that was on my end or what. So I apologize about that. But I was actually calling about a property sale you had listed here on Mercado Ave. Boom, and then right into it. Right, I make a joke. I'm like, oh man, I think I kept getting right. Obviously, he kept pushing me to voicemail, but I make a joke. I given out for him, right, to be like, oh, I think it was on my end, right? So it's not an issue. And then boom, I was actually calling about property on Mercado. All right, let's try this one. Come on, third time's a charm, right, guys? Now, so also I just want to point out, this is one email from Privy for just one day. And we're about to make our third call on what I would say is I mean, these two at least, like, without even talking to them on the phone, there's some massive potential on both of these, right? Like, you don't even have to look at price. Wait till you have the conversation with the agent. But I promise you, like 40 days, this house needs TLC. I mean, don't really need to say much about this one, right? So, and what we are less than 20 minutes to find two really hot opportunities. Guys, you could be cold calling for a week and not even find, like, and you'll be lucky if you get two people that are even the right phone number for the property, right? Ask me how I know. I've done it. So that's why I'm saying, if you want to talk about one, saving time, saving money, being the most effective you can, and just not wanting to waste time or money, guys, that's why I kind of say this tool is next level for people. All right, let's take a look. So 3 bed, 2 bath, 1,500 square feet. Like it. Okay. Now, what do I love about this house at the pictures? This will deter a lot of people. Like the average kind of, homeowner, guys, they look at this and kind of all the clutter and stuff is a big turn off for them. Investors, when we look at this house, you got to be able to picture it with kind of all this stuff out and you're like, man, this is a solid house. Like this is a really nice house. um it's just not necessarily put in the best light. So honestly, like it's just clutter. All right, looks like they got a bunch of kids. But all in all, not a bad looking house. So let's see if they have anything kind of in the notes here. Gem, blah blah blah, pretty standard stuff. Great backyard, all that good stuff. Sought after neighborhood, great for the kid, right? So pretty much all the language in here is they're looking for that first time home buyer. They're looking for a family to move into this. Now, what am I going to do? I'm just going to take a real quick peek. Real quick peek. So I see this is listed at 280, and I just want to see what is everything else selling for in this neighborhood. All right, 220, 245, 235, 245. So, there's one that sold for 299 over here. Let's kind of just take a quick look at these. Now, ours is a 3.2, a bit over 1,500 square feet. Is ours a, let me. It is. I didn't even realize that. So, one thing keep in mind is this is a looks like a double wide. So you just want to make sure when you're looking at houses or properties, we're comparing apples to apples. So yeah, I'll be honest, we're probably not the right fit. All right, moving on. Not this one. All right, let's see what else we got. Tavares, Leesburg. These are all Tampa. We can call Tampa in a minute. I think I've called on this house before. These are Tampa. All right, so we went through everything for Orlando. All right, let's go back. Let's look at some stuff in Tampa. Or let's just see what looks like a decent house to call on. Let's take a look at this one. Let's see. 389 listed 0 days ago. Now, why am I even looking at this? Because there's no pictures here. Now, sometimes, I'm not really sure why or how it works. Sometimes, for whatever reason, there might be pictures that don't pop up here. I find it's kind of few and far between. It's pretty rare that happens. But sometimes, if like I were to throw this address into something else, there might be pictures. But if I don't see any pictures here, first thing I'm looking at is description. And what I'm looking for is, for them to be like, oh, TLC need, because if there's only one picture here, right, it's kind of a blurry outside picture like this, and the description is saying, hey, investor special, needs work, blah, blah, blah. Oh man, yeah, you bet we're gonna want to call it. Okay, yeah, no, so maybe they just don't have all the pictures yet. But here it's like, they're basically saying everything's been updated, everything's new, blah, 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 and it's been listed 0 days ago. Probably not who I'm looking for. All right, let's look at something else. Let's try this. All right, 3-1. bungalow style home. So this is another thing I feel like a lot of people overlook. When you're comping a house, when you're looking at a house, street view can go a long way. That can tell you so much. I see a lot of people will miss this part, and it takes 2 seconds. But if you try to go and talk to your buyers and whatnot, and you look at it, you're like, oh, I saw the pictures, I comped it here. But if you didn't do a street view, if you do a street view and just take a real quick 360 and look around it, you might be like, oh, there is some rough houses like right next door or in the neighborhood or whatever, right? So that always helps, and especially like something like this where there's only one picture. No flood insurance necessary. Easy access to everything. Downtown. Let's see. This was listed 2 days ago. Oh, there's a before and after. All right, so look at these pictures. All right, so definitely. So let's see. What does the kitchen look like on these pictures? Did I skip it over? Okay, so someone probably remodeled this. So that's not what we're looking for. All right, let's go on up. Let's take a look at this. Guys, you know what's great is I'm not just looking at any property, right? Like we're sorting through a list of people that all want to sell right now. I cannot stress how if you've done anything, if you've done cold calling, postcards, text blasting, guys, I'm not talking to people that are saying, for the right offer, maybe I'd sell in like 2 years, right? I don't want to talk to those people. I don't want to have to start my conversation with, hey, have you ever considered selling your home? Man, that's a long process. I want to start with the people that are like, hey, yeah, I want to sell it right now. And whether they sell to an investor or whatnot, guys, these are all listed. They all want to sell right now. So when you're able to put together a deal, and there's a lot of them out there, guys, you're able to make money so much faster. Oh, love this. Are you looking for your dream fixer-upper? Home won't last long. Price to sell. Oh, it just listed. So this is a 3-2. I just kind of want to look at street view. I don't know if you guys have had the chance. Hopefully, you all have Privy. I don't think there's any tool that's like to be able to hop from pictures, street view, like MLS details. When you're able to do it all just kind of like really seamlessly, guys, it really speeds up this process. So far, we've looked at, I can't remember how many properties we've sorted through, but we've got 2 really strong opportunities to where the agents just didn't pick up. And then I'm liking this one a lot. So let me take a real quick look at comps. So again, settings, I'm gonna go to all. All right. Oh, no, this is new. Oh my gosh, man. Awesome job, Privy. So I don't know when they added this feature. I don't even know if this was here last week. So it looks like they have rentals in, which is awesome. I love that. Why? Because you now are looking at what I believe is MLS data for rentals. And when we're trying to figure out, hey, is this a house that could be a good rental? Well, let me just see what are rents going for in this area. $2 grand, $2 grand, $2 grand, $2 grand, 2.6, 1%, 1.4. That's really good. That's really, really good information. Oh, that is so awesome. All right, so let me zoom out. So our property's here. Let's take a look. What's under contract right down the road? So this is a 3-1, 1,500 square feet. Ours is a 3-2. This looks, is it 2 properties? Let's see. Let's just take a look at what else is around here. All right, so that's something totally different. I just want to take a real quick peek at that. Recently renovated, blah, blah, blah. The front unit, okay, so this is a duplex. So now, guys, when you're comping, like, yeah, so these are 2 houses here. So that would not be a good comp for me. Let's call this person up. We're going to call Nikki. All right, Nikki, I need you to answer because this is the last call I'm able to make. Berkshire Hathaway. Direct. 352 978 3791. Now, before I call Nikki or Nicole, so guys, we called these 2 really hot opportunities that I really, really like. Guys, what's great is when you're working directly with a seller, like if you call and you don't get a hold of them, I mean, it's like, good luck, God bless. Like maybe 1 out of 100, will actually reach back out. But a lot of times you got to keep hounding and hounding and hounding and hounding and hounding until, you catch them off guard and they were expecting their call back from a family member and they're like, oh, no, it's you, right? No, guys, when we're calling agents, I can call twice, leave a voicemail and a text message, and 9 times out of 10, I will get a call or text back that same day. And if let's just say I don't, if I follow up a second time, like the next day, guys, 99 times out of 100, I will get a response from them. And the nice thing is they're agents. They're working agent hours. Agents are used to working whenever they need to work, more or less, to get the deal done. So if you work a full-time job or a part-time job, or if you call in the morning, they don't answer, but they send you a text, and you're unavailable, and you say, hey, can you chat tonight at 7 p.m. or whatever, you're able to make that happen. So the flexibility is there, and you don't have to keep chasing and hounding agents to the same level that I've found in my experience when talking with sellers. Man, Jason, you got the right idea, brother. Agent relationships, relationship, relationy, relationship, right? Relationships is everything, though. All right, let's call. I think she goes by Nicole, or it's Nikki over here. Let's find out. Come on, Nicole.
Hi, this is Nicole, Berkshire Hathaway Home.
All right, let's try again. I wonder if they're all on lunch.
Hello.
Hey, Nicole.
Yes.
Hey, Nicole. This is Nathan. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I was calling about a list I saw you had here that I was really interested in, but it sounds like I caught you in the middle of something.
I'm just putting my kids down for a nap. I would have called you back.
Oh, got it. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, mine's actually napping right now, so I I feel for you. Well, I just real quick, the property on Atwater Avenue is, I saw you guys just listed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
I I saw the property. I'm really interested in it. I am looking at as a potential investment opportunity. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about the property and, maybe anything in particular that you think would be of interest for someone like me.
Yeah, we already had an offer at 130. So if you're gonna just waste my time and say, oh, I want to do a low ball offer, I put in the listing no low ball offers. So please do not waste my time.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I'll let you know up front. That is not what I do.
Okay.
Yeah, my goal is not to insult you or the seller with a low offer. If I can't get to a price that would make sense for you guys, hey, totally understand. Don't want to waste your time or mine, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I listed it. There, $50,000 needs to be put into the house. So,
Okay.
You'd be in it at 240, 250, whatever. You could flip it and still make 50 grand. So I listed it at a really good price. So we're not accepting any low offers. The roof there's no active leaks, but it's old. It was his mother's house. She bought it originally in 1950 when it was just a 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1970, she added on the living room, the master, the other bathroom, and the laundry room. But she never put money into it. And her son, who's lived there for 7 years, hasn't put any money into it.
Okay.
And both bathrooms have to be gutted. One bathroom is not even functional. The shower, the toilet works, but it's like the original toilet. It's like ivory color. I mean, they haven't put any money into the house.
Okay.
So that's why it's a fixer-upper. Windows are original. They're the crank, so they need replaced. The water heater doesn't even work. They take cold showers.
Okay.
But about 50 grand needs to be put into the home.
Were you guys able to get kind of any estimates on stuff, or is that just kind of like a ballpark from?
So he did get estimates. There's a dead oak tree in the back. He got an estimate of 3 grand. He got a roof replacement quote for 10 grand because he was gonna think about just doing it and then selling it for 290 himself. And then he's like, it's just too much. We would rather just sell it and buy another house.
Yeah.
The bathrooms, because they're small bathrooms. Someone gave him a quote for 5 grand each. The windows, I want to say I think he told me 10 grand to replace all the windows, the sliding door. So he said after all the quotes that he got, he was about at 40.
Okay, so well, that's really good to know. So 40 to 50 based on actual quotes. Awesome. Got it. And then for the house, now I know you said put 50 into it, and then so you're thinking it could sell, like if everything was fixed up, you're thinking on the back end it could sell for around 300.
Yeah, if it was me, if I was the realtor, I'd list it for 299. The reason being, you're in the center of Eustis. You've got almost an acre or half acre. It's fenced, chain link fenced in the back. And I've sold homes, 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes. If you're going to put 50 grand into it and make it look really nice, you could easily get 299. I've sold 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes that are outdated, not new, just functional, for 290.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay.
But truly, if my husband was still into flipping homes, we would have already bought it. He's just not. So he doesn't want to put the time into it anymore. So
got it.
It's a really, really good investment, though. I'm trying to get my neighbor, because he's young, and he's like, I wish I had a portfolio like you guys do. And I'm like, this is the house. You're going to miss out on a great opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean,
now look, for this house, do you feel it's a better fit to do the work, fix it up, relist it, or do you feel like it might be a better fit for like a rental or something?
To save on the extra taxes, I would use it as a rental for a year or two and wait, because I think next year I think the market's going to go down. So if you have the money and you have, I would save it, use it as a rental for 2-3 years, and then sell it just so I wouldn't have to pay the capital gains taxes.
Got it. What do you think, something like this could rent for?
My 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses in Umatilla rent for 18. So between 18 and 2.
Okay.
So if your mortgage would be around 15. So you'd be profiting little, but they're paying your note. So.
Okay, got it. One thing I can't tell, and kind of my one sort of probably the biggest concern I have in the back of my head is, I know you had mentioned there, she had kind of done some add-ons, with some rooms and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Is it kind of like the layout of the house? Is it like an awkward layout?
No, not at all.
Okay, not at all.
I've seen some crazy stuff, and this actually doesn't. I didn't even know that there was an add-on. They told me. You walk into the living room, which was the add-on, and it just perfectly flows with the house, and it's nice because it's a split floor plan. So you walk into the living room, and then you take a left, and it's the dining room, family room. It's pretty big, so they have another TV in there, and then the kitchen, and then there's like a breakfast nook for a circle table and maybe 5 chairs, and then the sliding door. They have the sliding door covered with wood. They have 4 boys. One of the boys decided to run right through the glass door.
Oh my gosh.
So that's boarded up. So anyways, it would be beautiful if it wasn't boarded up, because it would overlook the yard and let in a lot of extra light. And then the 2 bedrooms and the bathroom are to the left. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of the house, if you go through the living room, there's the laundry room first, and then there's a hallway, and that is where there's a Florida room with a window unit that they actually use as a 4th bedroom. Okay. It's all windows, Florida room, no closet. That's why I didn't list it as a 4-bedroom, but they have it as a 4th bedroom. And then if you didn't go down the hallway, there was the master bedroom door right there. And it's a decent sized master. Okay. The bathroom just needs completely gutted.
Got it. Okay, good to know. One other question I have is, obviously, of course, they want to get as much money as possible, and that's the goal. Other than price, though, is there anything with the process, anything at all that is important to them? It could be timeline, or anything else potentially about, like, for example, sometimes, like, I'll look at houses to where there might be a lot of junk or a lot of clutter. Sometimes what we're able to do is offer to where of course they can take anything of value that they want with them, or whatever, but any junk and stuff, rather than them having to get a dumpster or figure out what to do with it, they can just leave it there. I don't know, is there anything like that would be of any value to them? Or
no, I think because they're already like boxing stuff. Okay. They've been boxing stuff this week and throwing stuff out that they don't want. They just have 4 boys, so it comes with a lot of stuff. So
yeah.
They're gonna move it to their new house, so they just need more room. Honestly, it's 6 people living in there. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And then do they have a preference one way or the other on timeline? Would they prefer a quick close, or do they want a little bit of time?
Well, the second we get an offer and we're under contract, they want to look at houses next week, but so it would probably be like a 45-day closing just so we can find something, you know what I mean?
Okay. Do you think 45 days would be enough for them to find something?
I think, I mean, I hope. There's a few houses they want to see, so if they like the houses next week, then yes. If not, then they could do a 60-day closing. It just depends because they need the money from this sale to complete the purchase on their new home.
Okay, got it. Now, one thing I don't think I mentioned this in the beginning. You know, when calling about this property, I am unrepresented, so you know if that's okay with you, I'd love for if we're able to put something together that's able to work. Love for you to be able to represent me as well, and get both sides of the commission, or if you wanted to offer that as a discount seller, totally your choice. One thing I don't know exactly, kind of to the penny what my best offer would be able to be just yet. I've got to look at some stuff on my end, but I know you guys got it listed for 195. Obviously, I'm I'm not going to be calling you back with an offer at 130.
I priced it at 195. Originally, we were going to do 215, but I talked to the seller and said, you want to move, let's just price it under 200 so we can get it sold. At 195, I'm telling you right now, it's still a really good deal. You know the market. If you're an investor, you know that houses like this don't come on the market. There's barely, you can't even find a block home under 300,000 on the market right now. They're all trailers. And I'm sure you know that. So just be wise when you're writing your offer or telling me what your lowest offer is going to be.
Well, no, I totally understand. It's like, so just kind of some of the things, for mine, because I understand where you're looking at, I think 50K, I think, with the quotes and whatnot, probably right in the same ballpark would be my guess, when I take a closer look at my end. The one thing that was like on the back end, like when I go to sell it, it's like, I've got closing costs and agent fees on the back end too. So that's going to be like 20, 25 grand. And so it's like, I'm not really putting 50 grand in my pocket. It's more of like, there's maybe 20 grand to work with. And, of course, with flipping, as I'm sure you and your husband know, being investors, that can just be one missed thing. Now, I'm not trying to get rich off make $1 million off one flip. I want to make the absolute best offer that I can, but I just kind of want to be really, really just straightforward with you, as far as just when looking at the numbers, if my offer isn't able to be 195, hey, it's not because I'm just trying to lowball somebody. I would at least explain to you, hey, here's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
I know 195 is obviously what you guys would want to get or higher. If I were able to make an offer that was all cash, and if it was able to fit right into their timeline, I guess where do you think the sellers would really need to be at in order for it to make sense for them?
They're not, I'm telling you right now, they're not going to go lower than 190. They wanted it listed at 215. I talked them down to 195. So.
Okay, got it. So like if I look at the numbers and like, let's, for example, if I were to look and like 180 or 185 is the highest I could do, like, don't even bother calling back kind of thing.
I mean, it's only been on the market for one day. I mean, obviously, if it's been on the market for 2-3 weeks, they might consider 185, but it only being on the market for one day, I don't think they'd consider it.
Okay. No, I totally understand. Like I said, Nicole, my main goal is I'm not looking to insult you or the sellers or waste your time. So I'll tell you what, let me do this. Let me take a closer look at the house. Let me kind of take a closer look at things today. Let me run some numbers. And if I think I'm able to be in the ballpark or get to a number that I know would work for you guys, I'll call you back and we can kind of go from there. And if not, I'll at least let you know, hey, I took a look, and for whatever reason, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yep, just let me know what your best is, and I'll keep your information. And if it doesn't sell in a couple weeks, then I can circle back around and call you.
Okay, perfect. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks. Take care, Nicole.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Come on. Man, that is what I'm talking about, guys. Always ending on a good note. All right, so many good things happened in that video. So what do? Boom, whipped up the calculator. What's 6% of what she's saying it will sell for? 300 grand, right? Now, she's an investor. She should know better, especially if her husband flipped houses, right? Guys, you will get that so often. You will get that so often to where they're like, oh, hey, it needs 50 grand worth of work. Now, they at least have quotes. Most of the time, they don't have quotes. And they're like, oh, like I eyeballed it, should be about 25 grand. And you're like, dude, it's a 2,000 square foot house and it needs to be fully gutted. Like, it's going to be way more than that. No, but she was like, hey, we have quotes, 50K rehab. I say, okay, right. I'm not going to argue with her on the numbers. That's not going to help, in the negotiation, right? As soon as you start going back and forth and arguing, like, boom, deal's already dead. You might as well get off the phone. So Renee, that's probably why her husband stopped flipping. LOL. Yeah, right. So so she's thinking, oh, $50,000 rehab, you can buy it for 200, put 50 into it, and then you could sell it for 300. Now, without me even comping it, let me just assume she's right in my conversation with her, because me going back and forth and disagreeing on ARV, again, guys, that'll get us nowhere. But the one thing we can at least agree on is, I'm like, hey, look, just one thing to keep in mind is, if you're right, if the rehab is 50K and if it does sell for 300,000, hey, one of the things that's kind of difficult for me is I would, of course, have to pay realtor fee and closing costs on the back end. That would cost me over 20 grand, right? And now she understood that. And she knows that plays a role. And then, boom, what do? I relate it. I'm like, hey, now, obviously, you're an investor too, and your husband was flipper. So obviously you guys understand and know how sometimes during a rehab, there are things that just pop up. And if there's only $20,000 worth of room, one wrong thing and I could be losing money. She understood that, right? Because we kind of put that pressure on her. Now, what else did I love? Now, the one funny thing, did you guys notice when we first called her right off the bat? Did you guys notice? Did you pick up on her tonality in the beginning? She did not want to talk to me, right? She didn't want to be on that phone. So what did I do? I said it right off the bat, right? Hey, sounds like I caught you in the middle of something, right? Now, here's the pro tip, guys. She's like, yeah, I'm trying to put down my kids. I'm like, oh, got it. I've got kids too, or I've got one kid. Like, yeah, totally understand, nap time, big deal. Anyways, so this house on Atwater Avenue, right? And then boom, right back into it. So acknowledge, I address that, hey, it sounds like, I call you right. I'm letting her know, hey, it sounds like you're not happy with me. And a lot of times when you call it out, right, and you pinpoint it, it like resets the stage, right? And then she reset. She told me she was putting her kids down, and then we were able to have a conversation about the house. The other thing, right in the beginning, I love it. She's like, I say, hey, I'm an investor. Can you tell me anything, about the property that would be important for someone like me to know? Hey, you better not be calling and making, we just got an offer at 130. Guys, an offer at 130 that's probably another wholesaler, right? And that's why I love competition. I love other wholesalers, because that's what every single other person's doing. And all they're doing is just like, just kind of lining and teeing it up for all of you guys. Because when you call and you have a conversation like I just did, guys, she wants to do a deal with somebody like me, right? Versus the conversation of the other person where they just made an offer at 130, like, never going to happen. So one, we found what somebody else already offered at, right? And we found, okay, they're definitely not going to accept 130, but somebody else already set that really low anchor for us, which is perfect. We didn't have to do that. Two, we were able to find out a bunch of information about the property. And guys, at the end, what did we do? Hey, realistically, where would the sellers need to be at? And she's like, at exactly what it's priced at, 195. She's like, I had to convince them to get down. And then what do? We don't stop there, right? This is my favorite part. I love doing this every time, right? And I hope you guys are starting to see how it works so good every single time. I say, oh, okay, got it. So even if I were to look at the numbers and my offer was like 180, 185, like, don't even bother calling. Like, I shouldn't even bother calling back. Like, you know, don't even like waste your time kind of thing. Pause. And what she says, she's like, well, blah, 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 right? What does that tell me? 100% I can make an offer lower than 195, right? And she can't get upset at me for it. She gave me permission. She said, yes, please call me back and let me know, right? So, guys, we are at less than an hour. Guys, imagine if all you had to do for wholesaling is just 1 hour of work a day. And we've got 2, 3 amazing properties, 1 amazing conversation. What were the next steps? I don't have time to do it right now, but I've got right here. And I would try to look up a few investors right here in this neighborhood, looking at the comps. This is a duplex property. I would call the agent on this property. Oh, but it's under contract. Yeah, I would call that agent because it's a duplex. It's a rental property. So they either work with investors one way or the other. So, hey, do you happen to work with anybody else? Do you know anybody that's looking to buy another property in that neighborhood? You know, a potential rental property or a fix and flip, right? This would be a great conversation to have. And I would look at a few other houses and try to find 1 or 2 fix and flips right here in this neighborhood. And I would immediately call them, see what those buyers are looking for, exactly what they'd be willing to pay. And then the way we do things over at Painless, we call it pre-flipping. We flip the house before we even make the offer. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to have my buyer give me the exact price of what he's able to pay on that exact house, this one right here, before I even call the agent back and make the offer. Guys, when you combine that strategy with a tool like this, game over. All right, guys. Well, that is all I got for you today. I hope you guys got some value. If yes, man, please, guys, put a comment in. I'd love to hear, you know, if this helps you guys out. If it doesn't, you're like, Nate, no, this doesn't help us at all. You know, can you do this instead? Let me know. You know, really, really here for you guys. This will be posted later on YouTube, or it should be posted, yeah, on all the platforms, YouTube, Privy channel, all that good stuff. Someone, Dustin Matthews, hey, what if you don't have an LLC to put on the contract? Does that matter? Nope, it doesn't. So 2 things you can do. 1, you can just use your own name. 2, if you kind of do what we're talking about, which is, you know, have an amazing relationship with your buyer, you can just use your buyer's LLC. You can have them put it right on the contract. That's kind of more stuff of what we talk about. But no, you do not need an LLC by any means. All right, cool. Well, guys, until next time, have a great rest of your Friday. Have an amazing weekend. And I'll see you guys next week on Friday, Deal Finding Friday. Be good. Catch you guys later.